Salut tout le monde. On va continuer hein, comme prévu. Je voulais continuer à partir de l'hôtel Ubu, là où je m'étais arrêté la dernière fois. Enfin, la dernière fois, c'était hier. Voilà. Alors, je sais qu'à l'hôtel Ubu, sur cette portion-là, en fait, on peut mourir avec les gangsters là. Si on fait les mauvais choix, on peut décéder. Donc, je vais y aller mollo.
The guy looked just like a weasel. The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot. The sign listed the price of rooms, and boy, were they expensive. The killer must have been earning a fat wad to pay for accommodation like this. The lobby was quiet, almost deserted.
On va aller faire un tour quand même dans l'allée. Avant. Bon bah il n'y a absolument rien du tout. Je me rappelais pas que ça aboutissait à rien ici, donc on va retourner à l'hôtel, hein. Pas le choix, va falloir leur parler.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats. Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh. What do these... Oh, never mind. Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
Do you recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh.
Time's up, so I'll tell you. It's a used tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hyped.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
I'm sorry to be a burden on your brain. Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. Nope, I don't.
Bon, bah celui-là au moins on va
See
pas
you
mourir.
later.
Not if you see me first.
Allez, on enchaîne avec l'autre.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
What does this tissue mean to you?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No. That name means nothing to me.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you. I don't know it.
Dernière tentative avec la photo.
do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No. I never saw it.
Bon, bah
Forget it.
du coup je sais pas. On va essayer de rentrer. Et on peut rentrer sans problème. Alors peut-être que c'est plus tard. Je sais, honnêtement, je me rappelle plus.
It was a magnificent old Steinway piano. I figured the lady at the keys wouldn't appreciate a duet with a musical illiterate like me. The figure of a sexless youth was frozen in mid-skip with a silly grin on its stone lips. Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Du coup, on va parler à tout le monde, comme d'hab. Et le but, c'est d'arriver à l'étage pour aller dans la chambre de Cannes.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment, I thought. But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
C'est marrant comme il y a eu des rajouts en fait sur les sous-titres français en tout cas, qui sont ouais, enfin, qui passent hein, mais ils ont ajouté quoi. Ça je me rappelais pas à l'époque si ça y était. Déjà si sur la VF ça y était, j'imagine que oui.
Would you like to shake my hand, ma'am?
Now, George, there's no need to be so formal. We met as tourists, and I want to keep it that way, despite the enormous social gulf between us.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Good God, no!
I just thought the smell might be familiar.
Please, darling, put it away. I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Good heavens, are you trying to alarm me?
It's true. He uses the name Khan.
I've never heard of the man.
Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
Oh, I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
I guess I am.
Good heavens, I must be dreaming.
I don't think so, ma'am.
Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
I'm a detective. We do these things.
Now you're being ridiculous. If you can't supply me with a plausible explanation, I'm not interested.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. You know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
I have to go, ma'am.
Bon, du coup, elle nous aidera à récupérer la clé.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
Ça commence bien déjà avec lui.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven.
Les dialogues, ils sont énormes.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England. Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Il ne reste plus que le réceptionniste. On va essayer d'aller là. Ah, on peut quand même. On peut.
The sign on the door read 21. The door was locked. The sign on the door read 22. If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room.
On sait jamais. Une petite sauvegarde avant, mais de toute façon, normalement, ça marchera pas.
The door was locked.
Ouais, voilà.
Room number 23. The door was locked.
Waouh, le contraste est saisissant. Hop. En bas, ça doit être pareil. On va aller voir. Quelle différence. Eh oui. Ça a bien évolué, hein.
It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin. The clerk wore a disdainful expression, like he'd been born with it. I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests.
Aha!
He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Ah, j'arriverai jamais à le placer, mon buzzer.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is. Do you recognize this red nose?
Non, monsieur.
Do you recognize...
Non.
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantard?
Non, monsieur.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
Bon, bah, reste plus que ça.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Ça n'arrête pas.
Thanks for your help, buddy. Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Hey, ne touche pas!
Just looking.
Hey, ne...
Just looking.
On le rend dingue. Bon, on va retourner voir la cantatrice, là. Enfin, la pianiste. Aristocrate Lady Piermont.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I really need that key bad.
I'm not convinced I should help you, darling.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
And that's why you want the key?
Yes, ma'am.
I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Eh ben voilà. Allez, on va récupérer la clé.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
In the back of the office was a small safe with a combination lock. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22.
What now, monsieur?
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
La prochaine fois au contrôle de sécurité, je montrerai ma cicatrice.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not spécialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Ah bah finalement, il est pas si énervant que ça. Il nous aide. Bon, bah on va
Thanks
monter.
for your help, bud.
Allez. Du coup, lui, je sais pas s'il y a d'autres portions de dialogue qu'on peut avoir. Et puis après, on monte.
Hello again. Do you recognize this key?
No, I do not.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Ah bah en fait, c'est un espion russe.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Bon, allez, on va monter. Ah, je vais peut-être appeler.
In the ornate booth was the most elegant public telephone I'd ever seen.
Bonjour, couleur.
Hi, it's George. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Ah bah c'était court, hein. Rien, aucun intérêt. On va essayer Todrick. Je suis sûr que ça répondra pas, mais bon. Juste pour voir.
No
Truc.
point in phoning that guy again.
Ouais, voilà, ouais. Complètement inutile. Ok. Et ben on va monter.
The door. The door was locked. Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key. It was a massive mahogany wardrobe. There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor. A cabinet stood beside the bed. The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did. The window looked out over a narrow alley surrounded by high walls.
Allez, on va passer par l'extérieur. La scène très connue.
The cabinet had no drawers, just a single door. The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed. The bed was several times larger than the narrow cot I'd been given at the place I was staying. The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
Il reste plus que
The
la
closet
penderie,
was
hein.
a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture. The pants were newly laundered and pressed with immaculate creases. There was nothing in the pockets of the pants. There was nothing in the pocket.
Ok, donc il n'y a rien, il me semble. Ah, la mallette.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
C'est ça, cache-toi dans l'armoire.
The pants matched the jacket which the killer had lost in Paris. I couldn't believe my luck when I found 2 items in the pockets of the pants. The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. There was nothing else in the pockets of the killer's pants. The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words, Club Alamut. It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. It was a key ring bearing 1 large brass key and a tag which read, Hotel Ubu.
Bon bah du coup je pense que je peux sortir de là. Je vais essayer la penderie pour voir s'il n'y a pas un autre truc, mais je crois pas. Bah non, il n'y a rien. Alors du coup je sais pas si je sors par là ou si je reprends la fenêtre. Une petite sauvegarde avant quand même. En fait les gangsters là on peut mourir en sortant de l'hôtel je crois. Donc je vais pas le faire. Mais je sais plus. Ah si on peut sortir là ouais.
The door was locked.
Too bad. Bon on va redescendre.
Hello again. Do you recognize this card?
No, I do not.
Does the name on this matchbook mean anything to you?
Indeed it does, for Alamut was the home of the Old Man of the Mountains. You do not know him?
No, I don't. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has 1,000,000 faces. Would you like to keep Merlin's pass as a memento?
No, darling. My broken heart is reminder enough.
I found this matchbook.
It came from the... It might be useful...
Bon ça on l'a déjà vu. Du coup
I have to go.
je vais parler à la fouine. Et je sais pas comment je vais sortir. Je sais plus comment on fait. Il me semble que si on sort par la porte d'entrée,
What now,
on se fait
monsieur?
dégommer.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Non, monsieur.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
On va tenter quand même.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
Ah oui, j'ai oublié. Bon, du coup, en fait, c'est parce que j'ai pas récupéré ce qu'il y a dans le coffre, je pense. Donc je vais appeler Nico. En espérant qu'il y ait quelque chose qui se débloque.
Bonjour, couleur.
Hi, it's George. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Eh ben non. Alors du coup, qu'est-ce que je peux faire? Qu'est-ce que je peux faire? Il faudrait que je récupère ce qu'il y a dans le coffre. Est-ce que... Je vais lui reparler à l'autre là.
What now, monsieur?
I've just been manhandled by a gorilla.
Yes? I do not see any signs of a gorilla.
No, not a real gorilla. It was a guy who looked like a gorilla. It happened right out front of this building.
Let me get this quite clear. Are you complaining or bragging?
I want to know what you're going to do about it. The scrawny one has a gun.
I suggest you contact the police.
Can't you do anything about them?
What goes on in the streets of Paris is hardly my responsibility.
Aren't you concerned that your guests are being intimidated by gangsters?
No one else has complained, monsieur. Did they steal anything from you?
Well, no. They didn't find what they were looking for.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't think they did either. Thanks for your help, buddy.
Je me dis qu'on va retourner voir Lady Piermont. Peut-être qu'elle va détourner encore son attention pour que je puisse récupérer dans le coffre l'objet.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do?
That gangster I told you about? He went through my pockets just now.
Good heavens! One never knows what to expect in foreign parts. Thank you for the warning, young man. I shall hide my credit cards in my underwear.
Ah, c'est tout? Oh là non.
I got the key. Thanks for your help, ma'am. I have to go. Hello again. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flat.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
No.
What now, monsieur?
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Peut-être qu'il faut partir de l'hôtel Ubu en fait. Parce que là, en fait, il n'y a plus rien à faire. Pas ici, il faut que je récupère ce qu'il y a dans le coffre-fort, mais pour ça, il faut que
The
je
door
détourne
was
l'attention.
locked.
Ah oui, mince, c'est vrai, c'est là.
The door was locked. The cobbles of the alleyway looked very distant and very hard. If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, I could have jumped. Mama Stobar didn't raise no suicidal fools, though. There was nothing else in the pockets of the killer.
Bon, on va aller voir ailleurs du coup parce que
Hold
je
it right
sèche.
there. Search him again, Flat.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
Excuse me,
Yeah?
don't you think you have some explaining to do?
Huh?
I'm an American citizen and a bona fide visitor to your country.
What the...
You can't touch me up in the street and expect to get away with it.
Get lost, creep.
Excuse me,
Yeah?
it's no good pretending you don't understand me.
For the last time, get lost.
Oh yeah? And what if I don't? What if I call the cops?
First, I break your arms at the elbows and wrists. Then, when you recover consciousness, I break your fingers.
There's just one flaw in your plans, Ape-Man.
What's that?
It's broad daylight. I don't think even you would assault me on a busy street. Of course, this tranquil square at the end of a cul-de-sac, this isolated corner of Paris that hasn't seen a street sweeper's brush since VE Day, this would be just about perfect for a mugging. Pardon me, I'm about to get very lost.
Get lost, creep.
Hey, Shorty! Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
It is just a matchbook. Why should I recognize?
Do you know a guy called Merlin?
No.
On va essayer d'aller voir ailleurs.
Do you know a guy called Merlin?
Ah mince.
Forget it.
Parce que visiblement, c'est pas là qu'il faut. Peut-être en retournant au poste de police. Je sais pas, hein,
Excuse me.
What do you want now?
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
What are you going to do about Flap and Guido, Sergeant?
I'm going to bust them, monsieur. For years I have been hoping to pin something on that pair. Now's my chance. I'll show them. And the inspector.
Thanks, Sergeant. Thanks for taking me seriously.
I'm only doing my duty, monsieur.
Does the name Merlin mean anything to you, Sergeant?
Nothing, monsieur.
See you later, Sergeant. What do you think I should do next?
I think you should look for clues at the hotel.
I guess so.
Non, donc c'est bien l'hôtel Ubu qu'il faut faire quelque chose. Bon. Ok.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks. No point in phoning that. See you later. I could go back to the Hotel Ubu. Whatever those two thugs are after must be important.
What now, monsieur?
Are you sure you don't want the key back?
No, you keep it until you finish playing detectives.
Thanks for your help, buddy. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Would you like to keep Merlin's pass as a memento?
No, darling. My broken heart is reminder enough.
I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George! Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Bon bah voilà, on a récupéré. Alors,
It was the ancient manuscript which Khan had stolen from Plantow.
du coup c'est là qu'on risque de se faire tuer en sortant. J'imagine qu'il doit y avoir un succès à récupérer si on meurt, donc je vais sauvegarder juste avant et je rechargerai la partie. Je suis quasiment sûr qu'il doit y avoir un truc. Hop. Allez, on va voir.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flat.
Is this what you're after, Guido?
See, that's it.
I can explain everything. Well, almost everything.
Too late. You're on your way to feed the fishes.
I'm allergic to fish. I break out in blotches when I eat tuna.
Let's go.
Et voilà. Et même pas, en fait, j'ai pas de succès. Il n'y a pas de succès. Ah, c'est pas grave. Donc, hop. Alors, ce qu'il faut... Oui, j'ai bien le parchemin. Ce qu'il faut, c'est monter et balancer le parchemin quand on est en haut sur le rebord entre les deux fenêtres. Le balancer dans la ruelle et ensuite aller le rechercher en bas. Donc on va faire ça.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside. If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, Mama...
Et voilà, comme ça on va pouvoir sortir. Je pense qu'on peut sortir par là. Et récupérer le parchemin en bas. Se faire fouiller par les gangsters et ensuite récupérer le parchemin dans la ruelle.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flat.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out. You're just not going to believe what I found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the U-boot.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive. But the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping. Think about it, George. One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that parchment is fragile.
Okay, I'm convinced. You keep hold of it. I found Plantar's briefcase in the killer's hotel room. It was empty, of course. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Ah,
Huh.
le binôme.
Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krone Museum. I'll give you the address.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. There's a guy with a There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover? It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces. The night scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom. I found this in the killer's room.
What is it, a credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him or the company.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue, a name or an address. That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir.
Ah, je vais juste faire une dernière
Let's
fois
take
le
another look
parchemin.
at the manuscript.
Parce que je voulais voir la différence. Enfin, j'imagine qu'on peut le faire. Ouais. Ah ouais. Bon, ça va, c'était quand même pas mal. Moi, je trouve que c'est pas si horrible que ça, l'original, malgré...
Maybe I'll check out the Kroon Museum.
Ah oui,
I'm
musique.
sure you'll find it useful, George.
Allez hop. Bon, bah, je vais m'arrêter là de toute façon. La prochaine fois, on partira du côté du musée Kroon pour rencontrer le Bino. Sortir de là. Ah bah voilà, un succès. Traquer un assassin et découvrir un mystère médiéval. Ok. Waouh, c'est joli hein, quand même. Franchement, il y a des panoramas, enfin des panoramas, non, des visuels qui sont vraiment réussis. Hein. Avant, mais même avant, c'était pas moche, franchement. C'est pixelisé, c'est normal. Mais franchement, ça passe. Ouais, il est vraiment réussi ce remake. Franchement, pour l'instant, en plus, ça fait très longtemps que j'avais pas fait le jeu, donc je le redécouvre un peu. Et là, en plus, avec cet habillage-là, franchement, ça passe très bien. Bon, bah, je m'arrête là. Et la prochaine fois, donc, je rentrerai dans le musée Kroon pour rencontrer le Bino. Voilà. Donc, bonne soirée. Merci d'avoir regardé. Et à bientôt. Salut!